เ Good evening and welcome. No, good afternoon. It's not good evening yet. It's only nearly 3 o'clock. Good afternoon and welcome to the watch along. It is La Rochelle against Sale Sharks here on BS Rugby. Hope you're doing very well. Welcome along to the watch along. Good to see people already in the chat. Happy to see you here already. As Gregor says in the chat there, it is on Channel 4 here in the UK. So it's free to watch if you'd like to check it out there. And it's also on Virgin Media 2 for Ireland as well. I'm not alone today watching this one. I am joined by a guest, someone who's regularly been on the channel across the course of the Six Nations, and seeing this game was on Channel 4, I thought I would welcome him onto the channel. It is Kapustaki Kyle. How are you doing, my friend? You good?
Yes, I'm good, Brandon. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Very, very well. Really looking forward to this one. Expecting to see some good rugby. Let's have a chat then about today. Of course, we saw Leicester just smash Newcastle, if we're being totally honest, booking their place in the semi-finals. But these two teams, we expect to see maybe a higher level of rugby. La Rochelle sitting second in the top 14. Ronan O'Gara, of course, is coaching over there. And then Sale Sharks, half of the South African side seem to play for them. So we're going to see an interesting game, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, with Leicester, Newcastle, Harry Potter really is a wizard. I could put that one in there, pardon me. But no, let's talk about this game. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Actually, it's going to be a really interesting battle all across the board, I think. You know, we know how well La Rochelle are playing in the top 14 right now. They've got a very tasty team. I thought they looked very good against Gloucester last week. And Sale, of course, looks mightily impressive against Scarlets as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a really tasty game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're in for a really good game. Both teams have obviously been announced. We'll go through them in just a second. If you are watching and you're new, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like on the stream. Of course, there is the option of a sticker. You can purchase a sticker or buy a super chat where your message will come highlighted in the chat. Again, no pressure on you to do that. But if you'd like to support the channel financially, you can absolutely do that. And it's massively appreciated. Right, let's take a look at the teams. Apologies about the graphics today. They don't seem to have come out as well as I would have liked, but we're going to go through the teams anyway. This is how La Rochelle line up this afternoon. So Bryce Dulan starts at fullback with Dinian Leeds, on the wing with Raymond Rule. In the centre, Lavani Bottia, who's absolutely brilliant last week against Gloucester, plays in the centre with Domaru. In the halfbacks pair, and then we have Tawera, Kerr Barlow and Ahai West, who played very well as well. Reddy Wagdi, Pierre Bourjat and Uni Antonio play in the front row, with Roman Sazi as the captain in the lock alongside Will Skelton, of course, former Australian international. Gregory Aldreich goes to 6, with Victor Vito playing 8 and Kevin Gordon then playing at 7. For Sale Sharks, and this is how they line up this afternoon. They line up looking like this. Starting at fullback, they have Hammersley at fullback with McGuican and Marlon Yard on the wings. James and Rensburg play in the centre. AJ McGinty, the USA international, plays at 10 with, of course, Faf de Klerk. Then in the front row, you have Rod van der Merwe and Declan John. Vise and Bowmans play in the locks. Bowmans is captain for this one. Dupree plays at 6. Curry plays at 7. And Dupree plays at 8. So those are the two sides. Let us know your thoughts on the selection of the coaches. You got to say, looking at both teams, they're very much star-studded sides, aren't they?
Yeah, no, very much so. Yeah, like I said, with the Sale team, there's 6 South Africans in there, and all their South Africans, the big ball carriers. The battle of the back row is going to be very tasty, I think. I don't think they'll. La Rochelle will lose much having all 3 at 6 when you've got Victor Vito at 8. They'll both be able to swap around pretty well. And of course, Kevin Gourdin, I remember him from few years ago playing with France. I thought he was a cracking player then. I'm a bit saddened actually he didn't really kick on to become, a really established player in the French team. Because I thought, because he's a really good player. And then obviously the battle of the centres is going to be very interesting as well. 2 big number 12s playing. Bottier, who, as you said, Brandon, absolutely outstanding last week, and Dumaru, who's another powerhouse at 13 for La Rochelle. So that's going to be a really fascinating battle to see how that goes, I'd say. And
I think it's going to be a fascinating game today. I think it's going to be a really exciting one. Of course, La Rochelle second in the top 14, and Sale Sharks are doing. Let me just double check actually where Sale Sharks are in the table currently. They are currently sitting third in the table. They're 3 points behind Exeter, but then Exeter are quite a few behind Bristol. But we know what Sale are good at. Sale are very good, obviously, at being physical. They've got the driving maul. Big South African contingent. They're very powerful people. And last week, they just absolutely bullied Scarlets, didn't they? And I think we're going to see them trying to do something similar maybe today, do you think?
I think they'll find it a bit harder today, basically because of obviously the La Rochelle pack. They're a lot stronger, and I think they'll be a lot savvier than the Scarlets were last week. So I think they'll be a bit more struggle, but I do expect them to try and bully them there where they can with the big ball carriers they had. Obviously, they've got Tom Curry's savviness and more athleticism alongside the 2 powerful Duprees in the back row. So I think that's how we're going to see a lot of attrition from both teams. We might see a bit of kicking as well, but I also hope we do see both teams trying to create things with ball in hand, go through the phases, and try and stretch the opposition as best they can. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping to see. Just a great game of rugby.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm completely neutral in this. I have no affiliation to either side. I really don't care who wins. All the Welsh regions are out. The Scottish regions are out as well for Kyle. So it really doesn't matter for us. Gregor says form doesn't matter in these knockout games. Sorry, go on, Kyle.
One wee thing, even though Edinburgh got absolutely hammered by Racing last week, Hamish Watson still got on the team of the weekend for it was the official European team of the weekend thing, and he still got in it. So yeah.
Hamish Watson still putting up some brilliant performances, and of course was recently announced as the Six Nations player of the tournament, and rightly so in my opinion. I thought he had a great campaign, and he should be starting for the Lions at 7. Whether he will or Tipuric will start there, we'll have to wait and see what Mr. Gatland goes for. We're about 3 minutes away from kickoff. Start getting your predictions in the chat. It'll be really interesting to hear your thoughts. I'll see if I can edit Kyle's audio settings a little bit, see if I can make him a tiny bit louder.
You want me a bit louder? Okay.
Yeah, please, if possible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that's perfect. There we go. That's great. I hope that's better for you, Jack. The game is, of course, down at La Rochelle, so out in France. Weather's a little bit wet, but it's not chucking it down there. Gregor says Sale to win this one. Back in Sale to win. Your thoughts then, Kyle? Who's going to win this one?
I think it will be close. I've backed La Rochelle. I think they'll just have enough. I think again, I know home advantage it's difficult to say with no crowds there, but I do think La Rochelle will just have the edge, but it should be a cracker.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think La Rochelle are going to have just a bit too much. I think they work very well as a team. I was really impressed by how professional they were last week. I didn't actually catch much of the Scarlets game because I was in work, but I caught the last 20, 25 minutes or so, and they were just so physical, and maybe that raised the question of the Pro 14 against the Premiership a little bit more. But no, I'm going to back La Rochelle to win by 3 to 5 points in this one. Freddie's in the chat as well. Can just watch some good rugby after the Tigers win. Of course, Freddie is a Leicester Tigers fan, sort of enjoyed that win. And we are ready for the game here. I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how both teams look to play. We've already spoken about Sale and their ability to absolutely batter teams up front. But as you said, I think they're going to have a much tougher time here. The big question, though, again, is discipline. We've already seen a red card. We've already seen 2 yellows already this weekend. Discipline is going to be massive for both teams, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, making sure you're squeaky clean with the tackles as well and the clear outs, because of course referees are a lot hotter than that nowadays. So I think there's a lot of players still adapting and still a bit unsure what to do at times there. So yeah, I mean, if that comes into it, though, I think that could be a big factor. If you see a red card or a yellow card, even.
Yeah, I think it certainly will do. I think, yeah, it really does change a game. And we saw that with the Newcastle game. Newcastle were doing very well at points, and then all of a sudden they get a yellow, and then Leicester really begin to dominate throughout the game, and that could be key today. And France always have this ability to implode, but yet South Africans aren't always the best tempered either, are they? So it could be quite an easy.
Jake Ball showed that, didn't he? You think he's a lucky boy?
I can't believe he's not been cited for that. It's actually ridiculous. Right. If Scarlets had won the game, I think he'd have been cited. Because they didn't, maybe he's got away with it. I'm not too sure. I don't want to say such things like that, but it might be the case.
No. I mean, I get where you're coming from. Maybe like, I can't remember what the score was at the time he did that, but I mean, it was still a joke that the officials didn't even, pull it up, and it was worse than both the clear outs that got red carded in the Six Nations. Like 10 times worse than both of them. Where he just went straight in for de Klerk's head, and it's just, how he's got off with that is
it's actually ridiculous. Both teams are out on the pitch, so do get your predictions in the chat. If you're watching, hit the subscribe button to make sure to do that. I think we're having some problems with YouTube over the past couple of days. It seems to be messing up, sending out notifications to people, but it's all good. We're all here watching it anyway. So it is Sale Sharks against La Rochelle. Of course, they're having a 2-minute silence for the Prince Philip, who passed away yesterday, was it?
Yeah, one of the Royals. It's only been a day, but no, I'll forgive you'll let you off.
Yeah, I completely forgot the name, but yeah, very sad times, obviously, and players all paying their respects to him. Ball incident led to a Scarlets try. I mean, he's very lucky, and obviously he's heading to Australia this summer after spending so long here in Wales with the Scarlets, heading back to Australia to be with his family. I think COVID, makes people realise what's important in life. And we have a La Rochelle in the chat. Not sure about your channel name, mate, but no, good to see you in the chat. La Rochelle fan, let me know if you're going to back yourselves to win. Right, we're ready for kickoff. Sale Sharks to kick off here then. La Rochelle in their yellow, Sale Sharks in their traditional dark blue. And the game has just kicked off. So Sale Sharks against La Rochelle. And let's see how this one goes. And it's an early line out here for Sale Sharks.
The battle of the two halfbacks is going to be a cracker as well, because obviously Sale have got de Klerk, and I've been really impressed with McGinty. This season he's been excellent, the American fly half, and you've got one All Black in Kerr Barlow with La Rochelle, and then West, who's he's a New Zealander as well, isn't he?
Yes.
Not an All Black, New Zealander, and yeah, he's a very handy player as well. So.
Yeah. So line out two Sale Sharks on the 10-meter line here. I mean, probably going to end up in a driving maul, surely. Oh, surprise, surprise. Oh, no, they get the ball out.
Oh, no, they got it out.
A little bit of space out wide. Now it's been knocked on.
Oh, knocked on. I think that was Bottier knocked it on.
Is that deliberate, or is that just by mistake?
I think the referee's calling it as mistake. I can't actually...
Yeah, interesting.
Camera B wasn't clear enough to say it was deliberate or not.
Of course, I wouldn't be surprised if this is actually French French TV that we're getting today, so it depends which angles they want to give us for TMO decisions, depending if it's going in La Rochelle's favour or not.
I'm not sure if it's French. I think it's European rugby that more has the control of the.
Oh, is it?
I stand to be corrected though.
Yeah.
If someone can inform in the comments, they're not.
So early penalty to La Rochelle at the break, down to 2 minutes in. I mean, Will Skelton is a giant of a man, isn't he? Yeah. He's actually ridiculous.
Yeah. He's made an impression himself in Europe. Did well with Saracens, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's part of their last European Cup win there. So.
Yeah, very much so. We are also keeping an eye out on England against Italy in the Women's Six Nations. That one is currently 17 points to 3. England are up in that one. That's just kicked off in the second half. So we're keeping an eye on that as well throughout the afternoon. Line out to La Rochelle then.
Gregory Aldrit gets it.
How good has he been for France over the course of the Six Nations? Is he one of the best in his position in the world, do you think?
He's up there, yeah, absolutely. No, just as all. I mean, since really Sean Edwards has come in as France defence coach's all-round game, and you know how he contests at the breakdown as well as his carrying has been really good. You know, He's a cracking player now.
Yeah.
Just a shame he didn't want to come up north to Scotland because he's got a Scottish father. So we've got good number 8s, but we could do with a number 8 in his level.
Imagine him and Hamish Watson, Jamie Ritchie as a back row.
Oh, that'd be brilliant, yeah.
Not bad at all.
Take that.
Well, this game's it's not really got any flow to it yet. How do you look back at Scotland's Six Nations? What is your feeling looking back? Obviously, you beat England, beat Italy, beat France. Do you look back positive, or do you think there were missed opportunities? Or a bit of both?
Bit of both, really, Brandon. I was obviously very proud of how we finished against France and you beating England. I mean, obviously, you know, you've got to, love those moments because as history shows, it's not all the time we beat both England and France away in the same season. But I think the missed opportunities really came against Wales because 17-8 up, we were in control of the game, and then we have a missed try where we mess it up, and then Wales get back in, then the red card happens. Just little things like that are kind of annoying. And then against Ireland, we didn't really turn up for the first 10 minutes and kind of let them bully us a bit too much, and only really came into the game when we were 24-10 down, which which actually really annoyed me at the time. To just thought, like, if we're wanting to be a serious team, we can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
So a bit of mixed emotions, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting Six Nations for Scotland. I mean, if you think about it, because obviously we're watching an English side and a French side here. Sale Sharks are attacking very well here.
Good offload from de Klerk to Curry.
Chance here for Sale. It's good work from La Rochelle in defence here. 5 metres out. 5 metres in. Dupree. With the outside pass on the back.
Oh, he knocks it on. But they have the penalty advantage.
I thought he was trying that without the advantage. I was like, why are you trying that there? But it was an advantage to Sale.
Aye, that was good.
They're going to go for the post here, so they're going to take the points early on here. It was McGinty who made the small breakthrough there, and then Faf de Klerk, lovely offload, as you said.
Yeah, brilliant.
But they'll take the points in the early stages here. It's very different styles of rugby. La Rochelle traditionally likes to throw the ball about, try different things, while Sale are very much more power-based team, aren't they? They'll go through the phases. They'll use the driving maul. So McGinty with a chance to try and put Sale ahead.
Encouraging start for Sale, though.
Oh, for sure, definitely. But I wouldn't be that concerned if I was La Rochelle from that, to be honest. I wouldn't be too concerned if I was them.
I mean, well, it was intelligent play from first McGinty, then Faf de Klerk. He saw the sort of inside shoulder of West, and then offloaded it out to Curry. Oh, has he missed it? Oh, he's missed it.
Well, he has missed it, indeed he has. So it remains 0-0. Wasn't the hardest of kicks, was it?
Well, I was out on the... But he's still a kicker of McGinty's ability. You'd expect him to get that, at least.
Yeah. So it remains 0-0, 7 minutes in. West will get us underway once again. What about France? How do you think France would look back at their Six Nations campaign? Because obviously a lot of promise early on, and then it just kind of fell apart at the end, didn't it?
Yeah, I think they'll be disappointed with how they finished against England, because as we both watched it, that was an absolutely cracker of a match. But I think just in the last 10, 15 minutes or so, they sort of started to lag a bit and starting to lose their discipline. And then in the end, England got the try. It won the match for them. And against Scotland, again, I think they just went out. I think I was watching a podcast, actually, the French rugby podcast. I don't know if you watch it, with Benjamin Kaiser and Johnny Beattie on it. Benjamin Kaiser was just talking how he thought the French team, when they first went out, they didn't look like they believed they were going to win by the scoreline they needed to. And then obviously at the end, with that Bryce Dulin, he should have just kicked it out, and they would have won the match. And then he just kept it in, and then we eventually got the score from it. So I think they're still a team that's got a lot of learning to do if they're wanting to be seriously. I mean, I think they will be contenders for their home World Cup, but if they want to be seriously saying to themselves, right, we're going in to win this tournament, then they need to learn to know how to just be disciplined, close out games, and when an opposition. Because the thing is, I think they were a bit also taken surprised by how committed Scotland were to the game, just how much we brought into it early doors, and I think they were just kind of taken aback by that, and then they thought, oh no, we're not going to win by the points we need to, and then what happened. So they're a team on the up, but they've still got details to iron out.
Yeah, I think they will be contenders for the World Cup in a year and a half's time. That is taking place. AJ McGinty with another opportunity here to put Sale ahead. Once again, La Rochelle penalised at the breakdown, so opportunity for him to rectify his earlier miss. From pretty much the same position, really.
More or less, yeah.
Taking his time with it. And he's successful this time. So La Rochelle 0, Sale Sharks 3. And to be honest, we've not really seen La Rochelle with any type of ball in hand. It's been all Sale Sharks so far. But it won't be panic stations yet for the French side.
No, not at all. Still early days.
Very much so, yeah. But no, I think what you're saying about France, I think they've still got this ability to make stupid little mistakes in games. Still got this ability to do little things that they shouldn't do. I'm gonna say, like Bryce Dulin, that moment there, it's just does he know that the clock is red? You'd assume that he does, but otherwise, if he doesn't, the communication needs to be better from his team.
I think he genuinely was thinking, we need to get the bonus point win here, and because if they got one more try at the end, they would have got the full bonus point. It wouldn't have been enough to win the championship, but they would have got. And I think that was in his mindset when he did what he did. And
yeah. But obviously, as a Scotsman, you absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah, he's getting a free pint on me if I see him next time up here. So not that he'd appreciate it, but with the context I'm coming from with it.
Yeah. Well, La Rochelle have a penalty now right in front of the posts. So West will look to draw level. And that's what I think we're seeing a lot in these games at the minute. We're seeing a lot of when players, they do something pretty well. I thought Leicester did this a lot during the game. They do something well. They get a penalty, they get a try. But then they make a stupid mistake straight after. It seems like the concentration isn't where it should be at all. Sometimes you just say, calm down. But West adds the 3. So 3 points apiece in this one. But I think this game really is the first game of the weekend where we're seeing, to an extent, London Irish against Bath last night was fully strength sides, but these two sides are their strongest teams going out. It is absolutely their strongest teams. Both teams are really going for this competition. And it's an odd one because, like, you look at Leicester's team today, that was not a first team side. I know they're still going in the Premiership and stuff like that, but you think that teams would take these competitions a little bit more seriously because they're good competitions to win. Even if it is the Challenge Cup and it's not the Champions Cup, it's still a good competition to win.
Yeah, I agree. I see that in football as well. Like teams who don't take the Europa League as seriously when they're in it. I just kind of think it's it's disappointing because you think you've got a chance of still winning a trophy here, and when you want to be going and trying your best to win that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, just
yeah, no, I think so. Do you think the Champions Cup has maybe lost a little bit of its edge of what it means to players and fans? Do you think it's maybe lost what it used to mean in the early 2000s?
Well, personally, it has to me a bit because Sky bought it from the BBC in 2003 or 2004, whatever it was. But I kind of think sort of money's dominated a lot, especially when you see how particularly the teams in the top 14 of the Galca Premiership doing it compared to teams in the Pro 14, apart from probably Leinster aside and maybe Munster sometimes as well. But no, just I don't know. It's still a good competition to watch, but I just think it's kind of like money's taking a big part in who are the teams that are going to be more dominant in it.
Yeah, I think it's good that Channel 4 have one game a weekend, but is that enough? And it's the same with the Pro 14. I think Premier Sport do the Pro 14 here in Wales, and my word, they are horrific. They are horrific. They're such bad. It's so bad at points. I always watch it on S4C, one, because it's free to do. I like to support the Welsh channel, but also because I actually think the quality of the programme, of the content delivered, is that much better than that of Premier Sports. I think BT do a good job of the Premiership and of the European games, but BT are massive if you compare them to the likes of Premier Sports and S4C.
Right.
So first, sorry, go on.
No, sorry, I thought it was going to be a drop goal there. No, it's just a kick through.
It did look like he was winding himself up for it, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Sale are going to clear their lines here. Although the ball's illegally.
Yeah. Not much flow in the game, is there, so far, really? It's not been... We haven't seen the team go... We haven't seen La Rochelle with ball in hand, really, at all yet, being totally honest. We're just watching big Will Skelton burst through a couple of tackles. Next up on the channel, Leinster against Exeter. Exeter against Leinster. It's down at Exeter. We're going live at about 5:15 for that. We kick off at 5:30. And then we'll do Northampton versus Ulster later on. Going live at about 7:45. Kick off at 8 o'clock. So make sure to subscribe for them ones. Sale. De Klerk clears. Marlon Yard chases. Good tackle by him. Or is that a high tackle? High tackle, yeah. Referee's giving it. I doubt they'll have a look at this. Is he going to have a look at it? He might be having a look at this. Referee just saying that discipline needs to improve for both sides. I don't think they're going to have a look at this high tackle, are they? Very interesting what Kyle's saying, considering he's muted. What was that you saying?
Better.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, yeah, I was just saying because it was more up here kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a high tack, but they're not going to look at it. I don't think there's too much. He's always dropping, isn't he? And he always makes it tougher.
Still a penalty if you go round there.
Yeah.
You're running the risk.
Always. So line out to La Rochelle just outside the 22 Sale Sharks. Their first real platform really to attack from. They do manage to get the line out in the end. Aldreet carries strongly into the 22. Has that been turned over by Sale? I think it is. What a turnover.
Or maybe not, has it?
It has. That's a really good turnover. Faf de Klerk tries to run with it. Oh, what's he doing?
Oh, he did well there to beat two players.
Yeah. And Sale just getting the platform to clear this one. Neither team has really got their flow going yet. You don't feel like there's much in this one at the minute. Oh, he sliced that horribly, that kick.
Oh, is the referee going to look at that? Oh, no, he's happy with it.
Bryce Dulin, Kyle's favourite French player of all time. Is that too much? It's going to go all the way from Bryce Dulin, and I'll go all the way back for the scrum. It's a big mistake.
Let's have a look.
They're going to have a look at this. How late is this? Is it on? It's on Dulin.
I think that's a late one because he changes his angle after he's kicked.
Yeah. Jeremy Coy asks, is it a good match? There's not all that much flow in the game, mate, yet. Not all that much flow in the game.
No. They're going back to the scrum.
So they're not even going to have a look at that?
No, they had a look at it, but I think it shouldn't. I think it was just a penalty because it wasn't malicious, but it was like he still changed his angle and caught him after he kicked it, so it should have been penalised for it. Or are they going to look at it? Are they?
They're having another look at it here.
Let's have a look.
He turns his angle. He turns at the last minute, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, that's a penalty.
I mean, it's clearly a penalty. It's just not. He doesn't make contact with the head.
I wouldn't say that's a red at all.
No. If he made contact with the head, I'd be like, okay, this is a potential. He just haven't even looked at it. He's not. I'm surprised. That's not a penalty.
Then again, Sale have got it should be a penalty for La Rochelle. Sorry. No. I think they did look, but they didn't see anything in it. So.
Interesting there.
How important is that going to be for this first half?
Yeah, indeed. We are pushing towards the halfway point in the first half. It's good attacking position here for Sale. Scrum in the middle of the field, just outside the 22. Isaac Cornwall says he needs to calm down, could cost us. I mean, in these big games, it's about who can really control themselves. Massive scrum from La Rochelle. Oh, that's a huge scrum. The handbags are out for a second as they start slapping each other. Look, just the drive gets going and then that's it then. Not much Sale could have done about that there.
Aye. That's when you actually should be pushing in the scrums, not before the
Yeah.
ball goes in.
Yeah.
Even though Faf de Klerk still more or less chucked it to his second row's feet. So
I mean, it might as well be hitting the number 7's feet at this point. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah.
Well, the thing is, because obviously the laws now are the scrum half can take a step towards his own team for putting it in, but because the referees are just putting so much attention on what's happening before the ball goes in rather than what's happening afterwards, the actual feed seems to be, pretty much redundant nowadays, which is really sad because it is.
What about with you? If you were refereeing a game now, I know you only referee at grassroots level, but if you were to referee a game, would you be picking up on something like that? Is that not one of your primary things to watch, or do you pick up on that kind of thing a lot?
If it's absolutely obvious, there's no effort to go, sort of straight at the front rower's feet, then yes, I'll pick it up every time. But if it's maybe like slightly not straight and it's gone, like you can tell it's made an effort to go straight into the front rower's feet, then I'd more let it off. Because I mean, also as referees, we're also told like not to just spend so much time on scrummaging, and I think referees on all levels will be in agreement there. They don't want to be refereeing scrums all day. So but the way I do it is if it's clearly going to the front row's feet, I'll give it leeway, let it off. But if it goes clearly anywhere beyond that to their own team, then you just have to pick it up as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. La Rochelle have a penalty here. Jeremy Coy asked, who do you think are favourites? Well, I backed La Rochelle to win by 3-5. So I think La Rochelle are just about favourites. In this one, Sale have really dominated, but haven't created all that much. And La Rochelle haven't really had the possession to create all that much either.
I wonder how key that scrum will be in the momentum shift.
Right in front of the post, just outside the 22. Should get this fairly comfortably. Which he does, and La Rochelle take the lead 6-3 in this one. Just over halfway in this first half, La Rochelle into the lead on this one. So they have taken the lead. England are 20-3 up against the Italians. Out in Italy on a yellow card as well. So you probably think that game's over. I mean, it's game over before it even kicks off.
It's 34-3 to England, according to the BBC scores.
Oh, maybe my thing's a little bit behind on that one. It is 34-3. Yes, it is.
I thought England looked very good against Scotland last week. And although, to be fair, like half the Scottish team were part-timers, so
yeah, exactly. Well, that's the big issue, isn't it? It's the same with the Welsh women against the French side. You're never going to win. It's just never going to happen.
But obviously that's come from a lot of lack of funding in the women's game, and it's like the way the women's game's been kind of shafted sideways in the past compared to the men's game, and generally the women's game obviously also generates less revenue.
Yeah.
But yet in England, they can still afford to pay for full-time contracts to all their players and that, whereas it's a bit more of a struggle elsewhere. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you hope that will improve, but it's going to take time, and especially with the pandemic now, all unions everywhere, men's, women's, whatever leagues are in, they're all going to take a hit with this, I think.
Definitely. Well, Sale Sharks have a scrum 5 metres out. Bryce Deland took the ball over his own try line. So it's a good opportunity here for Sale. Faf de Klerk will feed this one. La Rochelle's last scrum was very, very good. Let's see how Sale get on in this one. It's better this time.
Well, I thought Kurt Barlow was cheating a bit there.
Yeah.
He was obstructing Faf de Klerk and getting.
La Rochelle trying to hold the man up in the tackle. And they've done it well, really, really well. Bottia, the Fijian centre, that is fantastic work from him.
Absolutely.
Again, another momentum shift, another thing that just It's very, very good there from La Rochelle. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Jeremy asks, which team will win this European Cup? Who do you think's who's going to win this one? For me, I'm looking at Toulouse potentially, but then Leinster are always very, very strong and they know how to win it. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Toulouse-Leinster final, to be honest. That's why I would back to see.
Yeah, I'm back in Exeter just to beat Leinster later on. But I'll be a cracking game. That I think. But yeah, I think whoever wins the game later or Toulouse will win it. I think Toulouse are a really red hot team this season.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the back line. You got Dupont and Tamac. You got Cheslin Colby. You got so many great players. It's absolutely ridiculous, that team, and they do have the forwards as well to give them the platform to play.
Yeah. Still got Jerome Kaino, who's like 37 now. He's still playing at a really high level. So
yeah. Is he as good as Alan Wynne-Jones? We won't get into that one too much, but it's all right. There you go.
Well, different positions, but he's still still showing his qualities in his latter play in the twilight of his playing career.
Yeah. So it's come to La Rochelle just on their own 5-meter line. Again, although we haven't seen much from La Rochelle, there's been moments in the game where they've shown their dominance at the scrum. Obviously, holding the man up in the tackle there was really impressive. That's another solid scrum from them. Vito carries off the back.
Oh, it's a bit all over the place there.
Yeah, a little bit squeaky bum time. Antonio carries. Penalty to Sale Sharks at the breakdown.
Yeah, I think it was the supporting player went off his feet there.
And they're going to go for the post here. I think that's the right decision, isn't it? Because they've been behind. They've really, momentum has shifted, but I would just bring them back into the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, from La Rochelle there, you just need to get the ball out.
I don't know, because it looked like West was pulled into that breakdown there. And that's...
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, there hasn't really... This game's not a classic, is it? I mean, it just hasn't really flowed. There's not been enough flow. I think as a game later on goes on, I think the game will begin to open up, and I think we will see some more flow in rugby. McGinty looking to draw level here. Let's see if he can draw Sale level.
God, this is Johnny Sexton levels of taking ages. Rowan Farrell.
He's got it, and for all that fuss, he's got it. 6 points apiece. La Rochelle 6, Sale Sharks 6. Just under half an hour.
Yeah, that's Sexton and Farrell level of taking ages with a bloody kick.
They all have this what's it called, like routine of the way they do it, like being superstitious with it and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's like, I think it's a bigger reason for them to put the laws in to make it 30 seconds for the kick, because it's just it's not entertaining to watch someone just standing there for 50 seconds while they're just breathing. It's like, just getting their Buddha on with whatever. We've got a game of rugby to be getting on with here. Let's get on with it.
It's like in Major League Rugby, they've changed the laws there to say you can only have 60 minutes to take your kick. I know in normal rugby, in every other competition, it's 90 minutes, isn't it? Not 90 minutes, 90 seconds.
Yeah, it's 90 seconds.
90 seconds is quite a long time when you think about it.
I'd put it down to 30 as soon as they've. Yeah, I mean, as soon as they've like stepped back after placing it on the tee on the run up, they should have 30 seconds absolute maximum from there, I think.
So here come La Rochelle. Gregory Aldreet carries.
2 with him.
Ooh, what's happened there? Has that gone backwards or?
I think the Sale fullback knocked it on.
So opportunity for La Rochelle. There must be space out wide. West going for the cross kick. Finds his winger very well. Is it Vito he's found? There's a lovely offload into Aldreet, and Aldreet scored. What a try that is. Brilliant try from La Rochelle. I think it was Vito who caught the ball in the wing.
No, it's Aldreet scored.
And Aldreet, yeah, Aldreet crashes over. Really good try that. I think they're going to check this, make sure it's come off Sale.
Yeah, it was Sale. The Sale fullback knocked it on, definitely.
And La Rochelle have scored here.
West over to Vito.
Lovely offload.
Excellent offload, yeah.
And Aldreet offers a brilliant support there, and he crashes over. So La Rochelle get the first try of the game. It's a really, really good try. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Isaac says, Bev and Rod doing well to hold on Tony in the Lighthouse. 2 scrums. Yeah, the scrums have been much better. Maybe they heard us about saying how poor this game was, potentially. Jeremy says, for my part, Toulouse has always been my favourite team, and indeed Toulouse has a very, very good team this year. I think the final will be Leinster-Toulouse. You hope that will be the final with Toulouse hopefully winning. I think that'll be a great final. 2 very different styles. But it would be still a very good final.
Well, that's going to be another tasty one tomorrow. Clermont against Toulouse. I mean, as we know, Clermont, they're more than capable of causing upset. You'd have to favour Toulouse, of course, but I think Clermont are a very, very capable team.
Indeed, they are. Is West successful? He's not. So 11 points to 6 to La Rochelle.
You kind of just think, though, if it weren't for Kieran Reid, what a player Victor Vito would have gone. I mean, he was a good player when he played for the All Blacks, but he would have been a legendary status if it weren't for Kieran Reid keeping his spot there.
That's the thing. There's so many quality players, aren't there? And, with so much competition here in Wales, someone like Ross Moriarty can't even get in the squad anymore for Wales. He just can't get in the squad, but he's a fantastic player. He probably will he start for England? Not England, Scotland at 8 potentially. He's a very, very good 8. He'd definitely start for Italy. I mean, Italy would probably take me at the minute. No, I think Italy's an interesting one. I think they're not as bad as people think in attack, but defensively, both of us were in agreement over the tournament. We spoke a lot about it. The naivety in defence was really worrying. There is space out wide here for Sale.
Yeah. Hammersley, his tackle. He should have passed it there, I think.
Had to pass. Has this been turned over by La Rochelle?
No, he went off his feet, yeah.
Off his feet. So they'll come back for the original pen. He had to pass there, though.
He should have passed there. There was a chance on. But yeah, no, but you're right with Italy, though. I think they need... obviously, they won't get him. They need a defensive coach like a Sean Edwards or... like a John Mitchell or Andy Farrell, like somebody who, sort of knows how to actually get a defence organised for the standard of rugby they need to be. And doesn't mean they, sort of automatically be winning things, but, they'll be at least more competitive, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Because their attack actually looks okay. You look at the stats, especially from the first couple of games against France and against England. The stats aren't actually too bad. They don't read bad at all. But it's just their defence is horrific at points. And just simple mistakes. Again, I know they're a very young team, but still, just not good enough over the course of the tournament at all in a lot of areas. So AJ McGinty looking to bring them within 2 points here, right in front of the posts.
I think Taylor should have got at least 5 points here because Hammersley blew that overlap.
opportunity here to draw level with about 6 minutes to go until half time. He's pulled it. He's missed it again.
Post. Well, he's got it. Off the post and in.
Oh, it went in the end. It went in the end. So Sale Sharks up to 9 points in this one. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Indiana Creek walks in there. I know nothing about rugby. We never got to watch in the US. An interesting sport. It is indeed. It is indeed. It's Soccer Saturday. Well, it's Rugby Saturday here on the channel. But yes, lots of football going on. There are 5 minutes and a bit to go until half time. It's not been a classic by any stretch of the imagination, but you've got to say La Rochelle's try was really well taken. Oh,
what was okay?
They're gonna have a look at that. Is that in the eyes?
I don't know.
That's interesting. I don't know. Has it been really dramatic and jump back? I don't know if they're going to take a look at this at all. Well, nothing been said yet about having a look at it.
Is the TMO awake or is he? Or is he on his wacky backies in the truck? I don't know. They do between times when they're not committed.
Oh, Dulan with a very risky offload there, but it does come off. I'm surprised they've not had a look at that. Considering what happened between France and Wales with Wyn Jones, I know it's not anything to that level. It doesn't look like it is.
No, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure it'll come up in the television replays when there's no stoppage. Oh, what a player!
He's so good, isn't he? So good. Ridiculous. Oh, knocked on. Oh, it's gone backwards.
I thought that was backwards as well.
And La Rochelle, out of nothing, I've scored in the corner here. Apparently, it's gone backwards. They're going to check it, though.
I think, no, I'm thinking it's backwards there. I think he knocks it down, it goes backwards, and he picks it up. So, let's have a look.
I think that goes... It's very difficult to tell. I think my initial reaction is just bounced and gone up. I don't think it's gone forward. They're having a look at this, though. Is this going to be a try for La Rochelle? It would be a big score in the context of the game. I think it's gone backwards.
They're not viewing the right angles here.
It's gone off his leg. I think it's okay.
Ooh. Yeah, it's backwards.
I'm waiting to see what the decision is from the referee here. Really big moment in the game. That's gone backwards. It's hit his arm. It's bounced back onto his leg, and he's picked it up, and he's gone and scored. You watch it here now. The ball comes out.
It did look like it might have gone slightly forwards on this first contact, though, and then hit off de Klerk's knee, but that doesn't look conclusive. So
it depends what the referee's asking. The grounding is good. Nothing wrong with that. He's given it.
He's given it.
He's given it. So La Rochelle with a try. Question marks maybe over it. But
the thing is, there was one angle where it did kind of look like it went forward just a little bit off him and then came off the clerk's leg and went backwards. But it didn't. It looked very, very marginal, but you can't call it if it's not conclusive. So
exactly that's it, isn't it? It's a very difficult conversion for West here on the right-hand side. That's a really good conversion. Really good conversion, and La Rochelle go 9 points ahead in this one. And you got to say, La Rochelle have the opportunities they've had, they've taken them.
Yeah.
And Sale really haven't taken their chances.
Yeah, I agree. I think that scrum Sale had where real La Rochelle just pushed them backwards has really been the sort of turning point in giving more momentum to La Rochelle. And then they went on a bit later on to score that try. And
Indeed. Which football team do I support? I'm a Swansea fan. Yeah, it's tough times. Tough times. An Ospreys rugby fan, though. So 18 points to 9 in this one. We did win today, though. We beat Millwall 3-0. First win in blinking ages. So a minute and a half left in this one now. In this first half, at least. Don't forget, we'll take a quick break at half time. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and you've liked the stream as well if you're new and you're watching.
Up she goes.
Ooh. How do you assess the first half from the La Rochelle point of view? First of all, what would you be saying in the dressing room at half time? Because I think, to be honest, they're in a very good position now and they haven't had to do much for it.
Yeah, no, they scored a very good first try. And I'd say more or less same again. You know, just maybe be a bit smarter with some of the kicking. Well, I say smarter, a bit more accurate with some of the kicking game, which that was a good one. Yeah, I went forward off it.
Yeah. And what about for Sale? What would be the message for them at half time?
Just be a bit smarter with the ball, I think.
Yeah.
You know. And for McGinty to not take ages with his kicks either.
Some good advice there. Final 15 seconds of this one. Sale do have a penalty from the breakdown.
Tell him he's not Owen Farrell, and I don't care what anyone's opinion is. No one likes Owen Farrell. He's taking ages with a bloody boot.
So final chance for Sale Sharks here in this first half.
I think I also tell Faf de Klerk to be a wee bit more assured as well, because with a couple of times I think he's tried to be a bit too clever and maybe just needs to compose himself a bit.
Do the simple things instead of trying the most flamboyant pass in the world. So here comes Sale. Big opportunity for them. Good line there.
They're changing the point of the attack a bit.
Good tackle from Aldrit, pushing them back here. Good hands.
Oh, he's got to pass it here. No, he doesn't. Wait, to be fair, he was wrapped up there.
There's a little bit of space out wide. If they can get it there, McGinty cuts back inside.
He's off his feet. He has to.
It's good defence from La Rochelle. It's pretty comfortable, to be honest. Ball goes wide. Oh, lovely.
Oh, Byron, get McGinn. Oh, there we go. It's a try.
Brilliant finish from Sale Sharks.
Who was it? It's James.
Sam James.
Try.
The ball goes out wide here. Good hands from Curry. James with good hands as well. And good support line. Really good work from the winger as well. And Sam James crosses for Sale. Really good feet.
Byron McGinn, Scottish international.
Really good try that from Sale. That's the first time we've seen them, and they've actually looked dangerous, haven't they? They've looked really dangerous there. That's the first time. McGinty, let's spend another half an hour waiting for him to take his kick. This will be the final play of the first half. He's missed it again.
Yes, he missed it.
He's missed it again. So at half time, it is La Rochelle 18, Sale Sharks 14. That is a half-time score.
Oh, they're going again. No, they're going again. Because the charge came up too early, apparently.
So they're going to do this one again. So it's not half-time.
I shouted in his face. All right, fair enough.
Ooh. So another opportunity for McGinty. Let's spend another half an hour waiting.
It was Sazi, the La Rochelle captain, did that. Silly boy.
So McGinty with the second opportunity. So can Sale get back to within 2 points at the end of this first half? Game's opened up a little bit near the end of the half. I mean, Boccia's gone too early on that run. In the end, it is over for Sale Sharks. So Sale Sharks 16, La Rochelle 18. That is the halftime score. We're going to take a quick break here. Myself and Cal will be back in about 5 minutes. Make sure you don't go anywhere. Make sure you're subscribed, you've liked the stream, and keep the conversation going on in the chat. We'll be back in just a second. So there we go. We are back. It is time to have a look at that first half in a little bit more detail. La Rochelle leading 18 points to 16 at half-time out in France against Sale Sharks. What a first half it was near the end. At the start, it wasn't great. but it is good to see this one together. Don't forget, straight after this, Leinster against Exeter live here on the channel. Going live at about 5:15 with kickoff at 5:30. So do join us for that. And make sure that you have liked the stream, that you're subscribed. If you are new here, don't forget there's an option of a super chat if you'd like to do that. Again, no pressure on you to do that. If you can't financially do that, don't feel you have to, but the option is there, or you can purchase a sticker as well. I'm joined by Kyle watching this one. Kyle, your thoughts on that first half? How do you see it?
A very interesting game. As I said, took a little bit while to get some excitement into it, but I think that one scrum that La Rochelle had, where they shunted Sale backwards, did swing the momentum, to La Rochelle, and then they got that fantastic try from really putting the Sale fullback Hammersley under pressure. Hammersley couldn't take the ball, and then they got it wide, and Aldrit scored, and then they got that try, some could argue fortuitous, from Rochelle. But I think it was a try because he did just go backwards. But no, it's a very interesting game, an interesting second half. Like I said, just hope McGinty, doubt he'll do this, but I hope he actually speeds up his kicking time. So that's not
he does take his time with his kicking, doesn't he? For sure. We'll have a look at some stats from this first half now, and we'll have a look at how the game's been won and lost for both sides. Let me just share my screen. So here are the stats from the first half. So it's actually been pretty close in terms of possession and territory, 52% to 48% in favour of La Rochelle. But then the territory then is 50-50. Meters gained, though, showing that La Rochelle maybe are making a bit more use of the ball, 179 to 79. Carries 50 to 35. Clean breaks 2 apiece. La Rochelle like to offload the ball. We've seen that a lot already. And that back row, all of them have the ability to play with ball in hand, and that's massive for them. 2 tries to the 1 of Sale Sharks. In defence, then 60 tackles compared to 47. Missed tackles 8 to 4, so it's not too bad at all. If we're looking then at the breakdown, I mean, Sale Sharks in the rucks have actually done very, very well and have really done some good work across the place. La Rochelle scrum has been very good, and they had that one big scrum, as Carl just alluded to, against Sale there. It was really, really good. And then the discipline's not been too bad. 6 penalties conceded to La Rochelle compared to 7 of Sale's Sharks. So that is how it looks at half-time for the stats. I think it's interesting, isn't it, this one, because the game started really, really slow. La Rochelle started to come back into it, started to play some nice stuff, and then Sale Sharks got that try at the end. And what will be the mindset of both teams going into this second half now? Because for La Rochelle, pretty much do the same. They'll want to get the game to open up a little bit for them, but then Sale will want to keep it tight, go through the forwards, go through the phases, etc. So what will be your mindset going into this one for either side?
Take your opportunities. Because Sale did show towards the end of the first half, when they do throw the ball wide and when they do spot an overlaps on, they're dangerous. So I think because there was a couple of times in that first half where they had overlaps and they didn't use them, and then they ended up, I think, costing them. Just take your opportunities, really, and be smart with the ball. I think La Rochelle's kicking game is slightly better than Sale's at the moment, but it'll be interesting to see how that has a role. But that's what I'm thinking. Just take your opportunities, and it could end up being that the game's won or lost by a moment of genius or a moment of madness. So
yeah, I think it's going to be close either way. I think we are going to see a very, very close ending to this one. I think, as you said, a moment of genius or something stupid, a Bryce Dullan keeping the ball in play when the clock's turned red while they are winning might be the thing that turns the game. Let's chat about the other games going on today then in Europe. We have a few more games going on this evening, and we'll put our predictions in for these matches. So for the rest of the day, straight after this one, I'm going to do a watch along for this Exeter Chiefs against Leinster, 5:30, go live at 5:15. This is probably the game of the weekend, isn't it? In terms of what it means to both sides, in terms of the size of the clubs. You said you were backing Exeter. Why are you backing Exeter to beat Leinster? Is it because they're at home?
Slightly, and just being defending European champions, and how, for the most part, they have kept that momentum going into this season. I think it is going to be a cracker, though. And also, I don't know. I just kind of have a feeling because obviously Leinster didn't play their round of 16 because of Toulon being naughty
Eating
boys
waffles.
with COVID restrictions. So I don't know. I don't know how that would affect Leinster mentally. You know, they have had a week off and then they've got to play a really intense game. So it could be a factor. But I am just also slightly letting my heart come into play here because obviously Exeter have three Scottish players. Hoggy, Johnny Gray, and Sam Skinner on the match day 23. So, so I'm just narrowly going for Exeter. But if Leinster do win and are well prepared enough, it wouldn't surprise me. But again, I think that's a bit of an unpredictability factor given they didn't play last week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how that break has affected Leinster. Has it got rid of the momentum, or is it actually a good thing giving them that week's rest? I'm backing Leinster to win that one, but I do think it'll be very, very close. The other game then tonight at 8 o'clock is Montpellier against Benetton. Montpellier obviously beat Glasgow last week. I'm going to be totally honest, I was really not impressed by Montpellier. The only reason they won that was because there was a red or yellow. There was a red card in that one, wasn't there, for Glasgow?
Yeah.
So I was not impressed by Montpellier at all in that one. I'm going to back Benetton to win that one. Who would you back to win? Yeah, I think Benetton have actually played some nice stuff across the Pro 14. They beat Agen, and Agen are awful, but they still managed to beat them. But I'm going to back Benetton to win that one. What about you? You going to back the home team, Montpellier?
I think Montpellier should have too much for Benetton overall. Although Montpellier themselves, they've not had a particularly good season. Of course, all the stuff going on with their coaching team. They've got apparently a lot of they've got a rotten owner, apparently, sort of an owner who is a very successful businessman, but apparently from all the sources I've read and listened to him about him, he hasn't got a clue about rugby. But yeah, no, I think Montpellier will just win this one, but overall Montpellier, a club that should be doing a lot better than they are.
Yeah. Very much so. And then the final game, second half has just kicked off here, but we will keep an eye on it. And then the other game of the evening then is Northampton Saints host Ulster. We'll also do a watch on for that one, going live at about 7:45, kickoff at 8 o'clock. I've backed Ulster to win that one. Who would you be backing to win? Would you agree with me?
I think Ulster will just win that one. I think there's a lot of, we talk about Leinster and Irish rugby. There's a lot of good prospects coming through at Ulster right now, but maybe don't get as much attention. But no, I think, and obviously with how Cooney's playing as well, he's still keeping his form, and Ulster's pack's generally been pretty good. So I think Ulster will just win that one. Oh, here we go. That's a try already.
Out of nowhere, La Rochelle have a try to kick off the second half. I kind of half missed it. Raymond Rule has run over for La Rochelle.
Yeah, Raymond Rule, yes.
Let's have a look at this. Off the line out, they win it. That was a lovely inside ball from West. Oh, it's a dummy. It's beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, nice stepping.
Oh, beautiful. He sent him to the shops. Sent Tom Curry to the shops. Oh.
Tom Curry who got drawn in there.
Yeah. Really good finish.
Yeah, very good play by West as well.
And the conversion will be right in front of the post as well. Really good finish there. How long do you think McGinty would take to take this kick with it being right in front of the post?
Oh, cut him some slack at 60 seconds.
Just watching it back here, West does really well. It's a lovely dummy. And he's away. No one's stopping him from there. That's a massive score in terms of the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Massive score.
Seal's got the ball now.
Straight off the restart. Ball comes out wide here, a little bit of space.
There we go.
Penalty to La Rochelle at the breakdown. Big penalty there.
Antonio, was it?
I think it is.
How did he manage to keep on his feet? I don't know.
That's a big penalty.
Let's have a look. Yeah, tackled by Skelton, and then yeah, it's actually impressive. Like Antonio, the big lump that he is, he's able to keep his feet steady there. I mean,
you're not very, very well.
Obviously, if you're taking him on for upper body strength, you're not going to move him. But if you know, the fact like how big his legs are, he's got the ability to be planted on the ground as he's going for the jackals.
Absolutely. So La Rochelle 25-16, a brilliant try. And we said it, the game will open up and Sale are now going to have to come and play. They're going to have to try things because they're 9 points down. You feel like the next score is really important in this one. If La Rochelle get another try, then it's going to be really, really tough for this Sale side. But, I mean, we've seen more excitement in this first 4 minutes than we did in the first 40.
Got some slack. The first 30, I'd say. But
yeah, 30, yeah.
Up with it when they got the try started coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, he's off his feet. He's straight on his knees there.
Yeah, I know he's not getting away with that.
Just watching the try back. Oh, no, we're not there. No.
Yeah.
So, 2 mistakes on the bounce there from Sale Sharks, putting La Rochelle deep into their territory. Sale need to manage this next 5 minutes or so now. They can't be making stupid little mistakes here and there because another score is going to be really, really tough for them. Rugby players apparently can't count.
Right. Yeah.
Line out then to La Rochelle. The driving maul.
Kind of stopped a bit. It's moving now.
Here we go. Oh, he's dropped it.
Oh, dropped it. Whoa.
Opportunity for Sale. If they can get this one quick out. They'll go through the forwards to try and get an easier clearance. Faf clips it over the top. Where's that bounce going? Has he taken him in the air?
Oh, it's... Yeah, it's...
Taken him in the air. Oh, we can have a look at this, though.
Yeah, just a penalty, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just bad luck.
Yeah. So West sends this one down.
Yeah.
La Rochelle's line-out has not looked secure all day, has it? Because Sale have managed to come away.
Yeah.
That one there.
Well, I just wonder how much of that is to do with closing the gap. I've seen it a few times. Not been picked up again.
Yeah. Scrum to Sale then.
Right. They're still in this Sale, but they need to start taking their chances, turning pressure into points.
I've been really impressed by how professional La Rochelle are. Obviously, here in, I don't think there is any top 14 coverage here in the UK, is there anymore? I'm pretty sure there isn't.
Apart from the highlights, maybe. I don't see.
Yeah, so there is no coverage, live coverage of the top 14, so we don't get to see it that much. Oh, what a scrum from La Rochelle.
Big scrum from the men in yellow. They've got the advantage. And Vito's away. Got a chance here.
If they can get this ball out quick, this could be really dangerous. Why have you tried to kick it there?
Yes, that was a bit silly.
Yeah. What a scrum that was.
Yeah, I think Kurt Barlow just being trying to be a bit too clever with that kick.
Yeah. They're going to go for the post here, La Rochelle, so I'll have a little bit more of a gap, a little bit more breathing space. It's an opportunity for La Rochelle just to give themselves a little bit more breathing space. He's missed it. Absolutely sliced it. So it remains 25 points to 16. So we restart here from the 22 dropouts. I'm sure we're going to get a bit of kick tennis here. No, good hit from Bottier. So Faf's going to kick this one, the box kick, of course.
A bit too long.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Where did it go? Why is it going to go? Is he going to get there?
Oh, it's going to be a try, sure.
Oh, what a try! What a try for La Rochelle.
Oh, Hammersley again, though.
It's an awful mistake. Are they going to check it or what's happening?
I think that's been given.
Hammersley, though, wants to get... I don't know what's happened here.
Great kick by Dulan.
Why? What's he doing?
What is he doing? Yeah, he just needs to get his hands on that. Yeah, that's silly.
He tried to get it with his foot. Is that what he's trying to do there?
Yeah.
It's a really good finish.
Aye. He just needed to dive on that.
Yeah.
Good. Well done to Rule. It was really good to...
Yeah. Really, really good finish there from Rule.
You watch Hammersley, though, and you do think there's a reason he's not being picked for England.
Yeah. It looks a little bit... he just needs to dive on that. I don't know why he's not trying to catch that. It seems as if he's trying to put like his... I'm not sure what he's even trying to do.
He's clearly trying to kick it, but he's
Yeah.
I think that's mostly game over.
Yeah, I'd have to say so. I think that's game over now for Sale. 25 minutes, well, 27 minutes left in this one now.
Mm-hmm.
West has missed the conversion, so it remains La Rochelle 30 points to 16.
Oh, it's lovely. It's a lovely kick by Dulin, to be fair. He got great technique.
Yeah.
Still, Hammersley's got a...
He's got to just deal with it, hasn't he? Either kicks it out or something.
He's got to read it better there.
Yeah. You feel like this game is really changing. Harrison is on for Rod in the front row for Sale. So that change has gone through. Priso is on for Valdi in the front row for La Rochelle. So that change has gone through.
Okay. Side entry.
Penalty to Sale. Do you think Sale stand any chance in this, or is this really game over now, do you think?
They need to score ASAP.
Yeah.
But I think they'll find it'll be very difficult.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really
great play by Ruel there to keep that in.
Well, La Rochelle, the game is really opening up now. So Dulin trying to dance his way around a few players there. But La Rochelle, once again, struggling at the breakdown.
Was that Curry there who got a ball?
I think so. What are they looking for? Not too sure. So driving maul probably here from Sale Sharks, you think, off this line out.
Oh, it's off his feet there, is he? Oh, it was.
West clears to an extent. It's not the greatest clearance from him. $24 to go.
Oh, I suppose did he really? Yeah, I suppose he did. Okay, no, that's fair enough. I thought he was sealing off his feet there, but no, he got up and went forward, so that's fair enough.
So win the line out and the driving maul is set up, but they decide to play it. Faf de Klerk gets the ball out.
Yeah.
Faf is so slow to get the ball out. And it's kicking off a little bit now. Little mistakes now creeping in for Sale. This has just been such a professional job from La Rochelle, although they've had 2 tries, which maybe have been lucky. Is Faf de Klerk going off?
No, it's Faf, stay done.
He's just not really had an impact on the game at all, has he?
Well, it's not been his day at all.
No. Quirk is on, so de Klerk is off. Is that like accepting defeat?
Don't know. He's not his best game today, Faf.
No.
He sometimes tries to be a bit too clever. His box kicking's been so-so. And he's like not really been controlling the game from 9 as you'd expect him to. So
Scrum to La Rochelle. Scrum's been so dominant, and once again it gets moving forward advantage.
Aye, that scrum's really all over this match now.
Yeah. They'll come back for the original penalty there. So it looks like one English team is not going to be making it to the semi-finals. Antonio is off. Jolly comes on instead of him.
Yeah, I think this game's going to start to run away a bit from Sale now.
Yeah. You felt like they needed that score, didn't they? But they couldn't quite get it.
Well, I think, obviously Sanderson's trying to change something now, but don't know if the players he's brought on will be good enough to overturn this match.
The driving maul here for the hooker goes. Lovely offload.
Did that go forward? That was offside, surely.
Sale. Somehow Sale have the ball.
I thought it was an offside, then a side entry. Offside from Sale, then a side entry, which referee missed both. But anyway.
It's kicked away as we head towards the final quarter of this match. It'll be a line out to La Rochelle.
Aye.
It's a good platform here for La Rochelle to work from. I can't see any way back for Sale now. I just can't see them doing it now.
Aye. Well, that last maul. Sorry, that last maul, just a couple of them looked tired. Like they just couldn't bother to make.
And the problem now is that when the game opens up, it suits La Rochelle that much more.
Well, yeah, especially with the way the game's going, yeah.
Yeah. Like Sale are going to have to start playing if they want to get anything in this. And that's what suits La Rochelle. That's what they're so good at. Good hands from Bottier.
Oh, excellent.
He's been quite quiet today, but he's done a lot of little things very well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's space out wide here. Rule has already got 2 tries. Inside ball.
Oh, that's going to be a try for Dumeru.
And it's a brilliant try for La Rochelle. And it's beginning to get a little bit embarrassing now for Sale. Dumeru crosses. And La Rochelle have booked their place in the semis for sure now.
The Sale defence is looking tired. It's looking like
very, very tired. Really good finish that, though. It's Bottier's hands that really create that moment there.
Yeah.
And the depth that La Rochelle hold there. The step inside Rule. Inside pass, and that's just tired defence there. It is just a very, very tired defence. And West will have a conversion to take right in front of the posts. Which will give them over a 20-point lead in this one. And it's 37 points to 16. The game has certainly opened up in this second half, which is what we wanted to see.
All in La Rochelle's favour.
Yeah. Sale won the restarts again.
Yes.
Is that 3 times we've seen that now?
Yeah, interesting. They've been outplayed more or less everywhere else, yet they'll restart. So that's all right.
That's audacious pass, but it hasn't come off full Sale. Now it's really getting a bit. Landon's on for Van der Merwe for Sale, but Sale now, they're just. You can understand why they're trying it. So line out here to La Rochelle, 10-meter line in their own half. It's taken by Vito.
He's had an excellent game, Vito.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
I don't know what that kick was with Dulan there.
Oh, and mistakes are really beginning to mount now for Sale. A knock on there.
Oh, it's a penalty, surely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who has it got at that time? Was it?
Not too sure who's got there in the end. A few words being said between each sides.
Yeah, Priso got that one.
Yeah.
Sale just look like they're trying to force it now. Trying to.
Yeah.
No. Just their body language doesn't look all that. Doesn't look positive at all. Sale.
No. I think West is going to go for the posts here, take them up to the 40-point mark.
Why not? Is that a fire engine, the ambulance?
Both, maybe. My flat's certainly not burning down. Well, I hope not.
Police. Who's upset who on Twitter this time?
So West going to try and put La Rochelle even further ahead. It looks good. It is good. And La Rochelle go even further on in this one, 40 points to 16. This could really become a battering if Sale aren't careful here.
Is that Bottia going off?
Yeah, Bottia's going off. He's had a quiet game, but he's done a lot of good little things around the park, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's some player though. I think he's definitely going to.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be a key player for La Rochelle in the next couple of rounds, which will be a lot tougher than this one.
Yeah.
Was that taken back? No, it was back.
No, it was okay. Just about, anyway. So, what about La Rochelle then? Could they go all the way? Do you think they've shown enough today to prove that they could go all the way, or is it more of a case that Sale are now just tired and the game's really slipping away from them?
I think they're capable. I mean, no, absolutely. I think they're very capable. Just look at how well they're doing in the top 14 as well. I think they're second behind Toulouse. So, and the the ability of players they have and how they're playing. But I think, like as I said, I think there are other teams ahead of them as favourites, but they're definitely a capable outfit, and don't write them off whatsoever.
No, and the semi-final draw is taking place tomorrow after the final game of the weekend, which is Toulouse-Clermont. So that's taking place straight afterwards, around 5 o'clock. What I've been really impressed with La Rochelle is they're quite patient in attack. They know when it's on. When it's on, they have the ability to finish chances. They don't force things. That's what I've been really, really impressed with them.
Slightly forward there. Oh, well.
Yeah, I thought I was slightly forward as well. 12 minutes to go then.
Oh, it's over the ball. Yeah, great play by, who was that?
Who's at the bottom of the pile? Not too sure.
Lienenberg, I think. Or
yeah.
So that's like it. Oh, that's no the hooker's tackle looked a bit dodgy there.
Let's have a look at this. Oh, that's a neck roll. Is it? No.
No, it was the hooker's the La Rochelle hooker's tackle. He kind of went to ground. It looked like he wrapped properly, but the referee didn't see it, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, the ref's had an interesting game, hasn't he?
He's had a mixed bag. I was chatting with another referee who doesn't like him, Andrew Brace, very much. Thinks he's not up for it for this level or international level. I think he's a mixed bag. So.
Yeah. Oh, lovely.
Oh, very nice. Was
that right? Oh!
Second good try.
What a try that is. La Rochelle. Dumarou. I mean, that's just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there was a bit of crossing in the build-up there, but...
Okay, let's take a look. They haven't changed the scoreboard, so they might be having a look at this. Maybe.
Come on, show that again. No, it didn't.
I don't think they're going to show it. They haven't changed the scoreboard yet, so. But that's a lovely hands there and just lovely support lines, and they've given the try.
I don't know. It was hard to say. It looked like there was maybe a bit of crossing build up. But...
So West to make him 3 points away from the 50. 10 minutes to go in this one. Has he missed it? He's hit the post and pulled it wide. So it's 45-16 to La Rochelle with just about 10 minutes to go in this one.
Sale need to try and keep their heads up here.
Yeah.
They're playing for pride.
They really don't want to get 50 points put on them here.
No.
Does not, because they've obviously still got a lot to play in the Premiership, third in the Premiership. 3 points behind Exeter, who play after this. Remember, we're doing a watch long for that here on the channel, so do join us for that. Knocked on there.
Roll's been named man of the match.
Deservedly so. He's obviously created some fantastic moments, hasn't he, throughout the game?
2 tries. I think he's got an assist, maybe 2 assists.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Mark John asks, do you think all France final? I mean, I'm backing Leinster to beat Exeter, but it really depends on the semis. Obviously, La Rochelle have been very good. I think Toulouse, it'll be, I'm going to say Toulouse-Leinster final. But I've been really impressed by La Rochelle today. I think they played some fantastic stuff today.
Obviously, with Leinster, it's very impressive how they've won 4 Pro 14s in a row. But it's because I know they've won Europe in that time as well, and they've got to another European final in that time. But you just kind of think, is it like, them winning the Pro 14? Because I'm not saying they're bad, but say a lot about the standards of the other teams they're playing against, or what would you say there?
It's a tough one. I think, obviously the Pro 14 is not the standard. Well, bar Leinster, Ulster, and maybe Munster. The other teams in the league are not competitive with most Premiership sides. We saw last week, obviously, Newcastle against Ospreys. It was, I wanted the Ospreys to win, and we were 14-0 up at one point. But yet, for whatever reason, we either don't have the mentality or the fitness or the skill level to finish a game off. Same with Cardiff Blues against London Irish. Same with the Dragons against Northampton. And the reality is Northampton's game as well. That was a second-string Northampton team. I'm not too sure what it is, because I still think Leinster are probably one of the strongest teams in Europe. But yeah, money is a big thing. Money is a massive thing. I know Ben, who does the Welsh Rugby Roundup show me and has been on the channel before, did a really good video looking at the finances, looking at the different stats behind both leagues and comparing them and seeing why are each doing the same. But yeah, I think it's going to be, the Pro 14 has a long way to catch up to these clubs, but until the finances are the same, and clubs have been affected so much this year. You look at the Scottish sides, Edinburgh and Glasgow. Glasgow historically will be up there competing every year. I think they finished 4th in Conference A. Edinburgh finished 5th in Conference B, I think it was. So for both sides, it was a poor year. For the Welsh sides, they all secured some form of European rugby for next year, which is good. But a Welsh region hasn't competed at the top of the Pro 14 for the last 6 years or so since Scarlets won it. So it's a real issue. It's a massive issue. And I think that the Premiership sides have just shown why they are miles ahead. But then you'd say the top 14 is the top 14 ahead of the Premiership, because Bordeaux obviously beat the leaders Bristol last week. You've seen today, La Rochelle, let's be honest, have absolutely smashed Sale. They've absolutely smashed them. So it's a big issue, isn't it, in the game? But the Premiership is much better than the Pro 14. But that then doesn't reflect the national side. Because for Wales, we've always done well at national level, but for the regions, we're always crap. So I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think to simply put it, the money is a lot bigger in the Premiership and in France as well, of course.
Yeah. Sale have actually scored a really nice try here, actually.
Yeah, Myron McGuigan right in the corner.
From nowhere, really.
I don't know why he ran straight towards the depot. I'm going to check that.
Good offloading, actually, from Sale there, but we just haven't seen enough of that in the game.
No, not at all. No, that's a try. That's fine.
Yeah, it's a good try from Sale there. What do you think about the Scottish regions this season then? Obviously, as we said, Glasgow finished 4th, Edinburgh finished 5th, recently got absolutely smashed by Racing. What are your thoughts on the regions? And if you think about the success you've had this Six Nations as well?
Well, it's been, the region's point of view, it's been disappointing. Of course, it has. I think you said it right in your video. Edinburgh have had a season to forget, pretty much. But yeah, no, I think you're hoping it's a one-off, because there are some bright prospects that are coming to Glasgow and Edinburgh next season. Tupolotu, who's a Scottish qualified centre, he's coming in as Hugh Jones's replacement for Glasgow. He's a good player. And then you've got Oswald, I think that's his name, the Oswald Welly, pardon me, the guy from Bristol, who's Scottish qualified, he's replacing Van der Merwe at Edinburgh. So there's some bright prospects coming, and you're hoping that this season is just a sort of one-off, and that they can, Glasgow and Edinburgh can get back to sort of at least the middle or near the top of Conference A and B. But on the whole, yeah, I think the after effects of the pandemic are going to have a big hit on the whole league, I have to say. As it will with England and France, but I think it will be more so for the Pro 14. And
I think it's going to be interesting with this Rainbow Cup coming up, obviously seeing how that plays out and how each of the regions will approach that. I think a lot of the sides will rotate and try youngsters out. I think that's what we're going to see a lot of. Leonardo, the Leinster game is at 5:30, but we'll be doing a watch on for that, going live at about 5:15. So do join us for that. When do the Sharks play? Well, they're obviously playing in the Rainbow Cup this year. So that's in 2 weeks' time that kicks off. The Rainbow Cup kicks off in 2 weeks' time. What are your thoughts on Duhan van der Merwe heading down to Worcester? Is it a step up for him, do you think?
I hope so. I know he's playing for a team that are normally down the bottom of the Premiership, but no, I hope so. Hope they can get him enough ball, because you obviously have to give him a platform and give him the ball where he's dangerous. But also, could put more competition for places for the national team with who Edinburgh are signing. Apparently, he's a faster player than Louis Rees-Zammit. But again, as we know, his speed is one thing. Has the ability to do it on a, with his all-round rugby game, in terms of his ability to ride tackles, his ability to defend, his ability to step defenders, etc. And pass and catch and all the skills of rugby.
Sale nearly managed to score, but the final offload went straight into the hands. There's another police car going. I've not done anything. And another one. I've not done anything, I promise.
We've obviously got some dodgy neighbours, mate.
30 seconds to go in this one. How do you summarise this game for La Rochelle? How happy would they be with this performance, and going forward, how would they be feeling with this?
I think very happy, especially with how they played in the second half. Just how, they've just been very solid, controlled, and took advantage, I think, with Sale just kind of lied down a little bit after the game ran away from them. But no, I think they'll be overall very happy and very confident going into their season.
Yeah, for sure. And for Sale, just didn't take their chances when they had them, did they? You felt like they ran out of gas at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, the first half they did make a match of it. The second half is like La Rochelle got a roll on, as I was saying. They just seemed to lie down a bit, and just like their confidence sapped, and then just went down and didn't look like they believed they could get anything from the match. So I think they'll be disappointed, especially Faf de Klerk, who didn't have his best game. World Cup winner, you'd expect higher standards from him at this level. And Tom Curry hasn't had his best game either.
La Rochelle are going to kick this one off, and there it is. That is the final score. La Rochelle are into the semi-finals, winning this one 45 points to 21. A really good performance from the French side. Really, really impressed by them. And some fantastic performances there. So La Rochelle 45, Sale Sharks 21. Just before we go, we are going to go in just a second. Let's have a chat about your channel, Kyle, because I think the videos you've been doing recently have been absolutely brilliant. You're pushing pretty close, actually, towards 200 subscribers. Tell us a little bit about the different videos you've been doing recently.
Well, I've been mostly doing stuff to do with the Lions. Obviously, I put my own squad out of 40. I know it's going to be 36 going on the tour now. That got mostly good feedback. Up to 4,500 views on that and 42 likes last time I checked. So I'm happy with that. And then I did a response video to Matt Williams, because Matt Williams has been talking absolute rubbish. He normally does, but he's been talking absolute rubbish about his time as Scotland coach, about how we didn't have any weights, yet somehow he could bench. He knew he could best bench more than 5 of our backs, even though we didn't have weights. That makes no sense. And, also, just to kind of like school him a bit with some, because I even though I was a kid at the time, I do remember what the state of Scottish rugby was like back then, and I just like pulled some old articles, did some research to try and show like just how wrong he was and how incompetent he was when he was our coach. So that's a bit of a ranty one. And also I've just done a recent Lions kind of dream team coaching thing, which like sort of escaped into fantasy land. Imagine I was the Lions coach and I tried to get folk who are viewing the video to think the same way. But I did do one wee bit in it where I said like, oh, I'm gonna get a few comments saying, oh, you're talking rubbish and that. But it's I just tried to make it like as a fun fantasy kind of thing. See what if anyone was the head coach, who would they take as their coaches and that. And also I'm gonna look to do some reactions to the whole of the Heineken Cup weekend. I can't see all the games because I don't have access to BT or Sky, and so I'm gonna hopefully catch up with the highlights and I'll get some reactions out, my thoughts there, on all the whole weekend. And just mostly it's Lions content right now. The rest of it is just as a go, and I'm hoping to do some more informative stuff. I've got a few ideas for things, but and again, if you folk just message me what they like to see and what I could improve on. Obviously all feedback's welcome, even if it's a little bit abusive, as long as you're not vile, I can cope with that. So that's me and what I'm looking to do going forward.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've really been enjoying the content you've been putting out recently. I think it's been brilliant. The link is in the chat to Kyle's channel. Do head over there and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's get you towards that 200 subscribers. But that's where we're going to leave this watch along. Thanks, Kyle, for jumping on as always, mate. It's always great to have you on. And next one is Leinster against Exeter, going live in just over 20 minutes time. Once the stream ends, there'll be a link loading up on your screen for that, so make sure to hit the like button on that and hit the reminder. We'll see you soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the Leinster against